And the Pelicans secure win number 20 with a victory on the first night of a back-to-back against the Sacramento Kings. A team effort with contributions all down the roster. Let's talk about how we beat the Kings 133 to 123 today on Flock.
Ready?
So g'day everyone and welcome to Flock, a New Orleans Pelicans podcast. I am your host, Lyle Swithenbank, at Lyle Swithenbank on Twitter and on TikTok, at Lyle Pels on Instagram. The Pelicans win. A couple of losses on this West Coast road trip, and they finally break that two-game losing streak to defeat the Sacramento Kings 133 to 123. No DeJounte Murray, rested for his return to conditioning. And, because we've got the back-to-back tomorrow against the Phoenix Suns. 20 wins on the season. The Pelicans are third last in the West, passing the Jazz and the Kings. But man, oh man, what a season it has been. 20 wins, and we're in March. The 6th of March is the day that we're recording this. And what a season. You may have been wondering where I've been. We've been a bit delayed in getting podcasts out. Well, I've been off getting married, getting to marry Lark, who is, of course, the love of my life, and now my wife. We went away to Bali for a couple of weeks, and now we're back into reality. And back to watching the New Orleans Pelicans and then talking about it subsequently. So, the Pelicans win 133 to 123. Dylan Sanders from Locked On had actually worked out on Twitter the games we had to win to make the play-in. And that was something that in DeJounte Murray's return he'd talked about. Basically, it was to run down the Clippers, who are 10th. I don't think we can do that anymore because we basically had to beat the Clippers in all of the games coming up. We had 3 games against them. We've already lost 1. Lost 2 now. So, at the moment, now it's just about trying to string as many games together as possible. But even though we won this one, the same sort of issues started. Slow starts. Disjointed rotations at times. And while talent-wise, we were better, and we played better and won, it wasn't a convincing win by any means. In fact, we couldn't shoot threes to save our lives. It took until the second half to really wake up and start playing. And maybe it's playing on this, long road trip, a lot of travel. We've been away for a while now. It feels like forever since we played a game at the Smoothie King Center. The games are a bit later, and you can see the guys are getting a bit worn out, I guess. So, first quarter, the Pelicans started slow, down by 4 to finish that quarter, 30 to 26. It was worse than that to begin. We just managed to drag it back. 3 turnovers, I think, on the first 5 possessions. We turned the ball over time and again. And turnovers for the last few games have been what's really let other teams get in these games. And that's what's been really frustrating, is because if you're beating yourself, well, it makes it really easy for the other team to go and score a whole heap of baskets and make you look silly. So we managed to then go into the break, calm down, and dump 41 on the Kings. 41 to 33. Absolutely monstered them. And it was through the bench. Jeremiah Fears, Derek Queen, Bryce McGowan's was another one that come off the bench. Guys like that were coming off the bench. Carlo came in and just battled. He just came in and battled for rebounds. Ended up with 9 on the night. And I credit the bench for that because the starters came out slow. In this one, Eve Messi moved into the starting lineup. Bay, Zion, Trey, Herb, and Eve with DeJounte out. And we've played the small ball lineup against the Lakers. I don't know what I thought of it. It is interesting, I guess, but I'm sure we'll see it again tomorrow against Phoenix when DeJounte returns. Second half was much of the same as the second quarter. 38-28. We kept doing the easy things, making the extra pass, putting our teammates in a position to be successful. In this game, pretty much everyone that played, besides Sadiq Bey, had an assist. And Peavy, who played 39 seconds. I love that. The unselfish basketball, we'll get to the team stats in a second. The unselfish basketball, putting each other in those positions and disrupting defenses. Gosh, it's so much easier when the other team has to adapt. Instead of just trying to bash your head against the brick wall that is set defenses. Gosh, and it makes it so much easier. Of course, we're playing a team that, standings-wise, I guess, we're expected to beat. They got a lot of players out, right? They've moved some key pieces at the trade deadline. Last quarter, 32-28. And I felt like we let the foot off the gas a bit. They were hitting some good shots. And a lot of second, third chance attempts is what allowed them to start. They obviously didn't claw it back because we built big enough lead. But you let them hang around. And down the stretch, we were only up by 10, 8, 10, 6. It kept getting closer. Managed to put the foot down, some big shots. Herb hit a big shot down the stretch. Jeremiah was good. Zion, Trey. And you close these guys out, right? But the good teams don't stop. So, in this game, fortunately, after those early turnovers, we only ended up with 11 total turnovers, which is great. We have 3 in the first quarter, you then slow down. Trey Murphy talked about that after the game. If you're able to take care of the ball and slow down, not turn the ball over, you're in a better position. You don't beat yourself. It then just becomes a game of who's going to take care of the ball. We didn't actually turn them over very much. They only had 7 for the game as well. So you lose the turnover battle, but you win the game. And that comes down to discipline. Not being careless with the ball. Making sure your passes. And there were times where there should have been turnovers that weren't, and they were just unlucky bounces for us against Sacramento. But unfortunately, that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. I felt like we were fairly disruptive at the perimeter, but when we got down low, it was pretty easy to beat us. Until Eve Messi, Bryce McGowan's, these guys got in and got a few blocks. Herb, and I like to see that. Carlo, another one who was in there defending in the paint. And it's a mindset shift. And as much as, there's criticism about the coaching and the like, effort comes from the players. And if you're not going to play with effort, there are going to be instances where you get beaten. And those second chance points and getting dunked on from missed free throws, things like that, those are effort plays. That's all that is. You don't have. They're all tall. They're all athletic. Everyone in the NBA is athletic and tall. Boxing out those fundamentals is what sets you apart from being where we are and being in the play-in and being in the playoffs and being a contender. It's those baseline non-negotiables that the Pelicans need to improve. So, let's go over to the team stats. At the end of the day, we won. We'll take that. We got 20 wins on the season. But golly gosh, we are dragging. 50% to 50.5% shooting. So 49 of 98 to 50 of 99 in favour of Sacramento. We hit 12 3-pointers. We missed the first 8. Man, we were just not going to hit anything. Ended up shooting 12 of 34, 35%, to their 8 of 31, 25%. So we did a good job chasing them off the line and contesting those threes. Now, they're not a three-point shooting team. They've got a whole heap of guys that want to operate in the mid-range and in the paint. So you don't expect them to hit a whole lot. What I do like is that we have proceeded to outshoot them on that one. You've got an extra 12 points from the three-point line. And hitting threes is a non-negotiable in this league. You have to be able to shoot threes. It has to be double-digit threes every game just to be competitive. And as we saw, Sacramento couldn't hit 10 and they lose the game. It's very rare, I would say, in the modern NBA that if you lose the three-point shooting battle, that you win the game. And we've seen that. We've been a massive paint scoring team this year and we've won 20 games. Free throws 23 to 27, of 27, pardon me. 85% for the Pelicans, 15 to 23. They also did not execute at the line. 15 to 23, 65%. If you're the coach of that Sacramento team, you are absolutely livid with that. Assists 27 to 29 in favour of Sac, but we had a real purple patch in the middle where we were moving the ball. Jeremiah Fears had a great game again. Ever since the All-Star break, he has looked like he's taken that next leap. Really started to figure some things out using a gear shift, I guess. Going fast, going slow, taking the advantage when it's there, and knowing when to score and when to look to get other people in, or put them in a position to be successful. Fast break points 21 to 19 in favour of them. We won the rebounding battle 52 to 49. 11 blocks we had. I love that. And offensive rebounds 14 to 10 for us. Points off turnovers 17 to 10, but we had more turnovers, so it makes sense that they would score more. So, as I said, there was 11 turnovers to 7. We had 11. So, what's the takeaway from this? Well, the takeaway is that we've got a long way to go before we're anywhere close to being a good team. You can beat Sacramento by 10. You should have, because you're a better team than them. We've been competitive in a lot of games this year. There's been less blowouts for sure, but there have been critical errors down the stretch, reminiscent of that year where we gave up 22, 10-point leads. I feel like we're just as bad this year in terms of we'll get a bit of momentum and then stop exactly what we've been doing and go to isolation, stop moving the ball, let the other teams hit a couple of shots, and then we drop our heads. This was a great opportunity to get a bit of confidence, and there was plenty to take away from it in terms of the young guys' development and showing that they are starting to figure some things out. Derek Queen in this game I thought was very good as well. He looked at that Maxime Reynard and gave him the old sacre bleu and walked around him and gave him the business at every opportunity that he could. Sadiq Bey, again, 20 points. You got Zion with 23, 9 and 5, which I love to see. Missy only played 15 minutes in this one, but 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 massive dunk where he went up and under, 2 steals and 4 blocks. With only 3 field goal attempts. Trey Murphy had 21, so you got 60 from your big 3 of Sadiq, Zion, and Trey. 21, 7 and 4, 2 steals and a block, 7 of 14, and hit 4 threes from Trey. Herb took 9 3-point attempts and hit 2 of them with 12 points. Herb has had a bit of a slump offensively. Defensively, of course, still as good as ever. Ended up with only 1 steal in this one, but 4 of 12 shooting. And there are instances where they will start letting Herb shoot unless he can consistently punish them. That is the next step, is that he has to be able to get that 3 off at a consistent clip. Because otherwise, the spacing is really, really difficult, and they will continue to step in front of Zion and draw charges, which is what we saw again tonight. Off the bench, 27 minutes for Jeremiah Fears, 13, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 of 14, shooting 1 of 4 from 3, and only 1 turnover, a +7. Carlo, best on ground, +22, 9 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks, 3 of 4 shooting and hit a three. I thought Carlo played with some effort. He didn't play against the Lakers. He came in this one, put his best foot forward. He worked hard. He was trying to rebound. He was crashing the glass. He was shooting when he needed to. And again, hustling, trying to earn minutes. He had 25 minutes, ended up a plus 22. What do you want to do? I thought it was pretty good. Bryce McGowan's, again, ever since being converted onto the full-time list, 26 minutes, 14, 6, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 5 of 10 shooting. Hit his 3 free throws, plus 10 on the night. And no one on the bench registered a minus. They were all positive. The bench was our best. Derek Queen, 12, 9, and 5. 4 of 10 shooting and a block. Missed his 3 threes, but he was getting rebounds. He had no turnovers. Good passing, good rebounding, bit of scoring, and played his role. And that's what I like from this team, right? You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players in double digits, with Carlo on 9 and Missy on 7. Nearly every player had double digits. I love a team effort like that. What I also liked, Zion, 5 assists. Missy, 1 assist. Murphy, 4 assists. 2 from Herb, 6 from Fears, 2 from Carlo, 2 from McGowan's, 5 from Queen. Moving the ball, putting your teammates in a position to get an easy shot. And not all of these were like tough contested, 3-pointers that, they were getting. They were good shots. The extra pass in the paint to get their player open. There was one where Jeremiah Fears could have laid it up, passed it to Zion, who passed it to Sadiq, who got an easy dunk. Good to great basketball. We've heard that. It's, the old mantra that we've heard for years on years on years. Put your teammates in a position to be successful, and I thought we did that really well tonight. I was impressed. Consistently doing that is now that next step, right? Is making sure that you continue to learn from this and advance the ball. The ball moves faster than the man, and the Pelicans need to continue to remind themselves that they can hit singles, which was Antonio Daniels' key to the game. He only had one, just hit singles. Play free, play with intention, and move the basketball. Because otherwise it just makes it way too easy for opposing defenses to just collapse on Zion and get those easy turnover runouts, which happened against the Lakers, happened against the Clippers, against the Jazz at times, and it happened tonight. The easiest way to keep a team in a game is to turn the ball over or give up long contested threes because you didn't move the ball. Long threes end up with long rebounds. So, key takeaways from this one. Good to get the win. Really happy with that. Good team effort, good ball movement. Jeremiah Fears looks like he's really starting to take a leap. Towards the All-Star break, both rookies, Derek Queen and Jeremiah, have been playing big minutes. Looked like they were hitting that rookie wall. I think they were tired. They'd already played a whole college basketball season, basically, and then, that was halfway. What the All-Star break has shown me is that they've had a bit of time to sort of rest, recover, move to the bench, play a defined role, get to play against, bench players, and be inserted into the game where there are advantages that they can exploit. And as they continue to grow and get more reps and understand positioning, defensive skills, all of those sorts of things, they're going to continue to grow. I have complete and utter faith in these young players. You can see glimpses of the idea. It's just about spacing, it's about execution, it's about making sure that we're building good habits this season so that we can take them into next year. And I feel like we're trending in the right direction. Good teams are going to beat us, but it's about repetition and growth. And that's what I think we have to take away from the rest of this season, is continuing to find the players that are going to take us forward and recognizing the gaps in this team that we need to fill. Shooting is one of them. Consistent, I think if DeJounte Murray is going to hang around, consistent ball handling. You've got to move off Jordan Poole. It'll be easier in the off-season because he's expiring. The other parts to this is that there's going to be some hard questions that need to be answered in the off-season. I don't know whether or not this front office is willing to answer them, but they need to have a full review of everything and make sure that they're putting their stamp on this and getting in players that can contribute. And also picking a way forward. We can't have a foot in each camp. We've shown that. Because what happens is you have a team that's a stacked roster of key role players and contributors that would be really good on other teams, mashed together on talent alone on paper without the results. And this is a results-driven league. So, all in all, Pelicans win 133 to 123 against the Sacramento Kings. They play the Phoenix Suns tomorrow. We'll do another podcast after that, so we'll keep this one short. I'm back on deck now, so why don't we just leave it at that? The Pelicans win. We'll take that. Let's celebrate that one. Disregard all the outside noise, and we'll take on Phoenix tomorrow. So, with that being said, this has been Flock. I'm your host, Lyle Swithenbank, at Lyle Swithenbank on Twitter and on TikTok, at Lyle Pels on Instagram. If you like what you saw, we appreciate it. Hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and we'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe, and of course, bye for now.